Hey, and welcome to the Coming Strength and Fitness Fitcast. I'm Jill, coach and owner of CS&F, and I'm here along with my team to take your fitness experience to a new level. In each episode, we'll bring you helpful conversations with our coaches, members, and guests to provide additional value to your gym experience and understanding to our mission at CS&F to change lives through fitness. Hope you enjoy the episode.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. My name is Alex, our host. Jill's joining me again. Jill, how are you?
I'm pretty great. Thank you.
You are pretty great.
I'm pretty great.
And we have the one and only guest in the studio, Shannon French. Shannon, I'm really sorry. She got laryngitis over the past weekend, so her voice is coming back to her, but it may be a little in and out, but that's okay, Shannon. We're really, really glad that you're here.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's not laryngitis. She was shouting at Lionel Richie at a concert.
Combination.
Shannon, you did just go to an awesome concert this weekend. Which concert was it?
I did. So I took my son, who's 15, and 3 of his friends to see Elton John, Lionel Richie, and Sheryl Crow. And I will tell you, they got so excited when they actually knew a song. They would jump.
Was
Really?
Elton John just phenomenal?
Or I'm sorry, not Elton John.
You said Elton John.
Billy Joel.
But
I'm
haven't
sorry.
you been to Elton John too?
I went to Billy Joel with my daughter a couple weeks
That's what I
ago.
thought, yes.
Sorry, Billy Joel.
Billy Joel with your son, but you were with Elton John
With my
your daughter.
a couple weeks
Yes.
ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So it was a good time?
Amazing.
Which did you like favorite of the concerts? Which would you pick?
Ooh, probably Elton John.
Oh, I just would
Ooh.
love to see him.
Yeah.
Classic. We're not talking about concerts today,
No.
even though they are important and they are fun. Shannon, we're talking about you, and we're talking about your journey, because we just like to include our members, but also share some really cool things that our members are doing, and you're doing both. So you just reminded us literally a couple of minutes ago before we started recording that tomorrow is your 2-year anniversary of being at the gym. So you've been with us for 2 years. You've been on a journey, both fitness and nutrition, which is why Jill and I are going to have a conversation with you. Shannon, start us off this conversation with where you were before you started CS&F. What did your health and fitness look like as far as what did you do, some things you struggled with, some things you enjoyed? What did health and fitness look like before CS&F?
Yeah, so I would say it varied. There was no consistency to it, which is probably the problem. I went through a stage where I liked running, so I did a marathon, but I kind of got burnt out on that, so I would stop running. Then probably the year or two before coming here, it was Pilates. So I really got into Pilates, which I still do and I love. But I was finding I wasn't necessarily increasing my strength. And so that's what prompted me to reach out.
Yeah, I remember that. You were getting like Pilates certified, I think, when we were going through fundamentals.
Did you do that?
I did, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so in my basement, I have a reformer, and
I'm coming over.
you can come over, absolutely.
So then you reached out to us. How did you get connected with CS&F?
Google.
Really?
Yeah.
Just Googled it, CrossFit near me or functional fitness? Or?
Yeah, I did. I did CrossFit because I had tried CrossFit probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And to be honest, it was a terrible experience.
Oh, no.
And the thing that I loved that actually made me call was when it talked about your fundamentals class to get started, because I was like, I found in the last one, they kind of just threw you in. You didn't get a chance to learn. I was getting hurt. And so when I saw that on the website, I'm like, oh, all right, let me give this a try. Yeah. Yeah.
So for the people that are listening that aren't sure or familiar with fundamentals, what is that, Shannon? What was your experience like?
So I had the coolest coach. His name is Alex.
Thank you. Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Just Alex.
Just me. I paid her to say that.
Yeah.
$2.
$1.50.
But it's an opportunity to work one-on-one with a coach. And you really, I felt like got to move at my own speed. So there were some things I knew that we didn't really have to spend a lot of time on, but there were other things I had never done before. You walked me through it. You made sure I was comfortable. And once I was able to, I guess, accomplish all those, we moved to classes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what we do with anybody coming into the gym, whether seasoned or completely new. We take them through just at their own pace, making sure that they're completely up to par with the gym standards, not for our own whatever, but it's for the athletes, making sure that they have everything they need and they're best prepared to have a great experience.
Exactly.
Right, Jill?
Exactly. I mean, and we started doing the fundamentals process early on as a gym, and we knew it was different than what everybody else was doing, compared to your other experiences, but we knew it was the best way to prepare people for classes and for success. So, yeah, that's why we do what we do.
So before we kind of move into more of the nutrition piece, Shannon, one thing that's been really cool is you found some really cool people to connect with at the gym. So you are a very consistent 5 a.m.er. You found some friendships with them. Talk to us just about the community and friendship aspect of the gym.
Yeah, it's amazing. And honestly, I would say that's the consistency. That's what keeps you coming back. So at 4:15 when my alarm clock goes off and I want to roll over and
click snooze
or set it to 6, I already see text, are you up? And okay, I'm getting up. So but there's like really wonderful, great, supportive people in all the classes, everyone that I've met. But there's a consistent group at 5 a.m., which is wonderful.
So you didn't know about CS&F. You got connected. You've been in and out of health and fitness stuff. You found that, okay, I'm going to give CS&F a shot. Went through fundamentals, started going to class, getting connected with the community for about a year and a half. And then you heard about that we offer nutrition help as well through nutrition coaching. And you specifically got connected with Jill, sitting right here.
Hey.
Jill.
I'm right here.
Talk to us about what was the impetus or catalyst of that conversation and walk us through that journey.
Honestly, I don't know. I probably didn't even share this with you. So we were on a trip. It would have been at the beginning of July, and I was with my kids. And they had made some comment like, do you feel bad, like, if you're, how do they say it? Something to the effect of, like, do you feel bad if people think that you're unhealthy? And I was like, what? I work out all the time. What do you mean? And then I thought, oh, my gosh, like, it's more of, like, just from an outside thing. And I thought, okay, I've got the routine of working out, but the nutrition honestly is what is making the difference from from the physical outside. So when they said that, and I obviously had heard about the work Jill has been doing, and you could see the results and like the stories that were getting posted, I'm like, I'm going to give this a try. And so that's actually what prompted it.
Wow, you had a defining moment there.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my, I would hate my kids. You know what I mean? I want to be a role model.
The kids have a way of doing that to us.
They can cut right to the heart.
Yeah, they do.
I know. And I want to be such a good role model for them.
Yeah.
And they talk about all the time, like, my mom gets up and goes to the gym at 5, but I want them to have more of my mom is really healthy.
So for context, that was, Jill, you said July of 2022?
Of this year?
July of
July.
2022. And the date of this recording is November 16th. So almost, 5 months is that? 4 months? 4 months.
4 months.
4 months. Walk us through, you reached out to Jill. Where did it go? What did you do? What does the past 4 months look like?
Yeah. So first meeting with Jill was awesome because it was just a conversation just like this and really talking about my goals and what I wanted out of the program versus like, here's a canned program, go follow it, right? It was really around what was I interested in achieving. We started out super easy with, I think you call it the plate method, right? Like, you don't have to count anything. What do your plates look like? How much veggies do you have? How much protein? So super easy, very visual. And so we started there, but then we started adding in counting, starting with the macros, like the protein and whatnot. And so it's just been a gradual process. The accountability is awesome, right? The check-in every week. Jill's wonderful about following up and responding all the time and asking questions. So it's been great and lots of great tips coming too.
So let's unpack a couple things that you said there, because I think there's some vital pieces that are worth mentioning here. So one, it wasn't a canned approach. It wasn't this cookie cutter, hey, this is what I want you to do, and you're going to get 5 minutes of my time, and I'm off to my next person making another dollar bill. You came in and you said, hey, it was a conversation with my coach, and what I'm hearing is that you felt seen, you felt known, you felt like you were here and you were the only person Jill was focused on to really help achieve your goals. Was that correct?
100%. Like, it was all about me and what was important to me. The types of foods that I like, how do we work them in? And I think the thing I love the most is nothing was off limits.
Nothing's off limits.
Nothing is, it's all in. That's been my biggest mindset change that you've helped me with, is that it's all about adding, like, add protein because of X, add carbs. So when you're doing your workouts at the gym, you're not tired.
Yes.
So it's all about how do you add in. I've completely changed the way that I think about food, which is amazing.
Makes me so
Considering I'm
happy.
like 40 some years old, and you hear diet stuff all the time. So it's amazing that at this age I can completely change my mind about it.
Jill, I want to let you riff on that a little bit.
Okay.
I know that's your approach. I know that's your goal as far as you want every single person that comes in here, you want to help them reach their goals.
Yes.
You're not going to place your own goals on that person.
Of
You're going to be like,
course
hey,
not,
we're going to meet you where you are at. We're going to do what's best for you. It's not a, hey, keto diet for you or paleo. Like, it's where are you at and how are we going to get you to where you want to go? It's very individualized. It's very one-on-one. Why did you do it that way?
To me, a canned approach can work for some people, right? But it typically does not meet them wherever it is they're trying to go, So I just initially started with I've got to meet people where they are and figure out where they want to go so that I can build a plan to help them get there. And I also know that making things too complex to start with usually does not end up in success. So I like to break down a program, start super simple, super basic. When we see consistency over time and that habits are being established, then we add something else and then we add something else. But I definitely don't like to start people off with too much. My approach is 100% what is going to be best for them? What do you want to achieve? If it's weight gain, if it's weight loss, if it's being able to prepare meals for your family ahead of time, doesn't matter to me. I'm here for you. I'm here to serve you and I'm here to serve your goals. So that's what I do is I find out what those are and then we make a plan based on what they like. If you tell me that you don't like animal proteins, I work with vegans too, then okay, let's work around it. We can find other sources of protein. So there's not a canned approach to everyone's goals because everyone's goals are different.
Shannon, you mentioned another very important piece, this word called accountability, which a lot of people have different definitions of, but it's basically someone alongside you helping you where you want to go, right? Talk to us about, for you, what that has looked like with Jill Nutrition and in the gym in general, and why has that been a vital piece of your success?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Jill, right, it's a weekly check-in and it's a form. It's super easy. I can click on my phone. I do it really fast, do the weight, the measurements, and then Jill kind of comes back, hey, this is great progress during this week, or you did this or that. But it's also an opportunity to ask questions, or I really struggled with this week. So an example of that, I guess it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was like, I always have, or I'm hitting too many fat. And you're like, let's adjust the numbers because obviously the food that I'm eating is
you
more
prefer
geared.
fats over carbs. Yeah.
So she was like, okay, let's look at that. How can we adjust it to make sure that it's still the right thing for you? So there's this constant, yes, I'm accountable, but I feel like you're just as accountable to me. You jump in, you help me. So from a nutrition standpoint, and then I think, like you said, at the gym, the accountability goes back to the people.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to cover myself, but there's something when 3 or 4 of your dear friends are there and you want to be working out with them and all of that kind of stuff.
By the way,
somebody's here waiting on you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of that, are you competing in the competition?
On Saturday.
Yes. I thought I saw your name. Shannon and Bethany.
And Bethany,
Yes. I was like, I know those people. Jill, why the accountability piece? What does it look like from your end and why is it important?
So there's this really cool statistic that says 95% of people's success comes from accountability. You are very likely to achieve whatever goal you set out for 95% of the time with accountability. You can go out and try to do a nutrition plan on your own. You can go out and try to train for a marathon on your own or train for something that you want to do on your own, but you are 95% more likely to succeed with accountability. So the plan is very important. Working the plan is very important. But I would say that the most important piece is being held accountable to that plan, for sure.
Jill, where does Lucky Charms fit in?
They fit in. Right.
At
So
night.
we'll go back to what they fit in at night. That's where they fit in. Yeah.
At night.
Or in the morning or whenever you want to have them. So another part of the approach we like to take is let's don't eliminate the things that make your life happy.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you like wine or if you like pizza or if you like Lucky Charms, okay. We're not taking that off the table. We're just going to add in a bunch of really good things so that thing is just a small portion of what your whole picture of nutrition looks like, but we're not taking it away. because it's not sustainable to not have something that you love. You're going to eat it again one day. And the more you restrict it, the more you want it. So let's just leave it on the table and add some other healthy things into it.
That was one of the best tips you gave me is you can have that, but eat your protein first, eat your veggies first. And I do find like, okay, I can have a bite of whatever, and that's it. That's fine.
Yep, because once you're full of protein and veggies, it's like, I do want the cake, but maybe just not as much as I usually have because I'm full of broccoli and chicken.
One of the most practical ways for me in my life is for kids right now is instead of telling them no, they can't have their whatever, their chips or their candy or whatever, hey, let's eat these blueberries and this little piece of meat first, and then you can have that.
Exactly.
So I'm not taking away. You can have this, Andy June, but let's have 3 carrots really quick, and then you can have one M&M.
Yeah.
And she still does it, and literally she'll stuff her face all with all the blueberries, and she's like eating it all in one bite. Yeah, look at me eating all these grapes, and then she has her little M&Ms.
That
or whatever.
works for adults too.
It does work for adults. Health is about addition, not subtraction.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Shannon, throughout the past 4 months, really quick, tell the listeners just your progress so far with everything.
Yeah, so as of today, lost 20 pounds, which is super
20
exciting.
pounds. Have you lifted a 20-pound dumbbell? Do it. That's gone.
So
That's
exciting.
gone off her body.
So 4 months, 20 pounds, that's 5 pounds a month, which would be, 1 to 1.5 per week.
Perfectly
which
tracking.
is the
Yep.
absolute perfect, sustainable weight loss.
Yeah.
Shannon, throughout the past 4 months, week to week, what has been the primary emotion you have felt throughout that journey?
Oh, that's a good question.
He
Have
sometimes comes out with these questions, and I'm like, I'm going to need a few days to think about that one.
Well, here, I'll help you think.
I would say proud, right? Like it's super proud, like consistent and proud, and just the fact that it has been consistent. It hasn't been a lot at once, but it shows that, your work is paying off, and, I haven't quit, which is awesome. And I think I haven't quit because it's easy to follow.
The reason I ask that is because food is not just physical. There are emotional components tied to our relationship with food, and very relational components to food as well. That, Jill, I'll let you kind of speak into this as well, is if you have a coach or just an approach to food that is just looking at food as numbers or food as fuel, yes, that's true, but it's incomplete. That there is an emotional and there is a social and relational piece to food, which is super, super important to talk about, kind of tying it back into food or health is more about addition than subtraction. We're not asking you to remove any of that. We're asking you just to add in the beneficial things, and then you can enjoy the 20% of margin with whatever that is, Lucky Charms or wine or whatever that is. And Jill, when you are coaching somebody, for anybody listening, what are some of the ways you hope that someone feels going through this nutrition program?
I hope that they feel supported from me, and I hope that they feel exactly how she feels throughout the process, really proud of their effort. Like, it's simple in theory, but it's hard in execution. Like, changing your life and changing the way you've eaten for 40 years, that's not easy. So, yes, as simple as the plan can be, execution is hard and being consistent is hard. So when you put that hard work in and you feel proud of yourself at the end of the week and your check-in and you know that you got your steps and you got your plates and you hit your macros, like, that's a really good accomplished feeling, and that's how I want people to feel.
I know someone's listening that has been frustrated or confused or struggled with food in the past.
For sure.
I know, because that's most people's experience. But competence breeds confidence. When you are competent in one area, like Jill, you create small, simple steps that you can do. When you say, oh, I've done this, you're going to be more confident in the next week, and that momentum is going to build. That I hope that anybody walking into the gym, whether it's through the gym or through nutrition, feels confident, because that confidence is going to breed inspiration, pride, momentum. That's going to keep sending that snowball bigger and bigger and bigger down that hill, continuing healthy habits for a lifetime. So I just think it's very, very important to kind of touch on that.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you agree?
I would absolutely agree.
So Shannon, let's say someone's listening that has listened to a couple episodes, knows you, maybe have seen some posts online just about this nutrition program. They're thinking about it, but they're not really sure. How would you encourage them, or why should they do this?
I would tell them it will completely change their life. I mean, it really.
I got a little dust in
Oh,
my
don't
eye.
cry. No, but I mean, it is such, I mean, you think it's a simple thing. Like you said, it's easy. I don't know, whatever you said, it was beautiful, but like, it's easy to think about, but it's hard to execute. And going through the program, like, allows you to execute. You have all the support that you need. So I would tell them they absolutely won't regret it. They absolutely should. You will learn a lot more than you even realize.
Jill, what would you say?
You know, it's hard for people because a lot of people aren't where they want to be with their weight or with their body composition, but they keep doing the same things they've always done. So people think that it's
the definition of insanity.
It is the definition of insanity. And I've been there, done that, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard for people to think about, well, I know what this is and I know how to do this and I know how to do that, so I'm just going to do it. It is likely not going to happen, you know. So having someone to come alongside you to help create a plan, to educate you, give you resources and accountability to help you go through the process is super important. It's very important. And coaches need coaches. I've had nutrition coaches before myself. And just having someone there to guide you and lead you and answer your questions and educate you along the way is very important. It's very hard to change 40, 50, 60 years of nutritional habits alone.
Shannon, last question for you, and then we'll kind of wrap it up in a different way.
Yeah.
What's next?
Oh.
Because we said at the very beginning, this is a journey that we started your CS&F journey over 2 years ago tomorrow, but we're not done.
Not even close.
We're moving forward. So where are we going?
Oh, you're having all these deep questions today.
And they just come out like, who doesn't even prepare for this?
This is my brain.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm definitely not done with the nutrition support, right? I mean, I understand it, but there's this piece of accountability. And I think as I continue to gain confidence, things are going to change, right? It's going to go from losing weight to how do I maintain or increase muscle? So that's a whole different ball game that I'm not educated in yet. So I think that's the piece, like, how do I continue to grow and get stronger? And then I think at the gym, like, there's definitely personal things that I want to do, like a pull-up. I'll be super excited the day that I do a pull-up.
Tell everybody about your...
I did a push-up, too.
So one of her goals when we started is she had a goal to do a push-up, and she did it recently.
That is huge.
I pulled the kids out. I'm like, watch me.
Film me.
Shannon, you'd be surprised at the number of people that can't do a push-up. It's one of those things where literally it's hard to do. It's hard for a lot of people to do. And
which is why that's so big.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Excited, yeah.
That's a big milestone.
But I think there's little things like that, you know, once I get that, then I'm sure in our one-on-one sessions, I'm going to say, all right, now we want to work on this.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think it's just little baby steps and milestones, but no intention of quitting anytime soon.
So you have the accountability with your nutrition, but you also have it with your fitness with Alex.
Yes.
So you guys are meeting every quarter and you're saying, okay, well, I got my push-up. Now it's time for my pull-up.
Come on.
And Alex is there.
He's there.
All the way to help and support you and to give you the tools that you need to reach your goals. So.
Well, and the other thing I would say about both of you, because I've pulled both of you in to help with my son too, right?
Yes, yeah.
So he's 15, he's in football. So going through this with Jill and understanding like the importance of protein, she met with him to teach him, because of course it's very different hearing from someone else than your mother.
Always.
But the same thing, I forget what we were working on, but Alex ended up meeting with him. Here's the proper way to actually do a squat, buddy. Like you're going to hurt yourself.
We just looked at all the lifts, make sure, hey, so you know when you go to your weight room, this is something you should be thinking about, or barbell, all that stuff.
But that's the thing I love, right? Like, you guys are like, bring the kids in. I mean, it's just this wonderful lifestyle.
I love it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Shannon, this has been inspiring.
Oh.
Thank you.
It's
been really, really cool, and it's been a joy to be your coach, to watch both from the sidelines and to help and to witness your guys' relationship, Jill and Shannon's. So I'm just really excited to kind of keep watching it and see where it goes.
You guys are amazing.
Me too.
All right, so we're going to end not with just a fun, crazy question, but we're going to end with a practical 2-minute conversation, okay? So, Shannon, I'm going to turn it to you first. We are entering the holiday season. Right now, when we're recording, it's before Thanksgiving. Probably when this goes on, it's probably going to be around after Thanksgiving. But we're also heading into all the Christmas parties, Christmas itself, New Year's. Just December is a time of yummy sweets and sitting around on your butt and watching a bunch of movies and being very lazy because of health. And then January comes up and you get back in the gym.
Why does it have to be that way?
That's just the way the culture's made it. Shannon, with what you have learned, what would you encourage or give a tip to people listening on how to just not fall off the wagon, but just make beneficial choices in the holidays, at parties, during Christmas? What are some of the things you're thinking about?
It's funny. So I have been thinking about this, right? We're going away next week. I'm not going to have my little food prep thing at the kitchen. I'm going to be at the mercy of other people where we're staying. And I've seriously thought about, what do I need to plan ahead that I need to bring? Like I need protein shakes. You know what I mean? So it's like just thinking ahead about how can I set myself up for success. But the other thing that I have learned is that if I eat a cookie, it is totally fine. It does not matter.
Good.
And that doesn't mean then I should go the whole weekend. Like if I ate a cookie on Thanksgiving.
You don't punish yourself.
I also doesn't mean I can just eat whatever I want until Sunday. Like I ate the cookie and now it's time to go back to your plan.
It's not a punishment and it's not all or nothing.
Yeah, like it's okay. It's the holidays. Have a cookie, have a drink. Totally fine.
Good.
So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Like little things are okay.
I actually yesterday sent an email to my nutrition clients with all the holiday tips. So
no way.
It's funny that you asked. Yeah.
Can you share maybe just a couple?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things I put in that email was be the person that brings the veggie tray, guys. And like fill up on that veggie tray. Also, it's not going to be hard to hit your protein targets when you're staring at a 30-pound turkey. I mean, it's literally the center of the holiday.
That's true.
So eat the turkey.
Very true.
And then another piece of advice is like, don't skip the dessert. Like you want that dessert. You want whatever pie or cake is there, but have one or have a half portion of two different things. Call it a day and move on.
It's awesome.
And the other thing about the holidays is this, like people get anxious about it and I completely understand that. But Thanksgiving is like one meal.
Yeah.
Like if you think about if you eat 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, that's 21 meals. This is 1 out of 21 meals you're going to eat for the whole week. So it's going to be very difficult if you're working consistently in a nutrition plan to undo everything with one meal.
That's really good.
Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking too is like, don't feel obligated to eat every single thing. Like I know my family makes 20 different things, right?
Right.
I really only need to eat the stuff that I like. I shouldn't feel this obligation to put everything on my plate.
Yes.
That's good.
That's really good, Shannon.
Relieve yourself of that expectation. That's awesome. Well, Shannon, this has been awesome. Jill, thank you so much for your time as always. And everyone, we'll see you on another episode of the podcast. See you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, friends. We hope you enjoyed this conversation and gained a greater understanding of the mission and vision of the CS&F community. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram under Coming Strength and Fitness or hit us up on comingstrengthandfitness.com. See you next time.